Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again. Here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another versus matchup video, one of the most important ones I wanted to do. This one is an epic one. This is going to be a death battle who would win matchup between the Incredible Hulk and Doomsday. Alright, so this is one that I absolutely felt like I just had to do, seeing as how I've done the Superman versus the Hulk, done lots of different versus matchups, and this one is absolutely one of the biggest there is in terms of a who would win matchup. On one hand, of course, you have the Incredible Hulk from Marvel, one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe. He has insane amount of strength, gets stronger as he gets angrier, is one of the most durable characters there is able to jump several miles in the air type thing, and is just, one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe. On the other hand, we have one of the most powerful villains in all of comic books, which is from, of course, the Superman DC Universe, and that is Doomsday. Those of you guys who don't know Doomsday, basically in the death and return of Superman, he was the antagonist, and actually to a point seemingly killed Superman. Of course, DC is not going to kill off Superman forever. I mean, you're not going to do that. He's got so many comic titles, and he's pretty much, him and Batman are the two biggest comic book characters there are. So that, of course, was just temporary, but in a way he did kill Superman, or at least put him into a coma for a while, you could see it as, before him coming back to life, and in the process did die himself, basically. But he essentially was able to go toe-to-toe with Superman, and due to the circumstances was able to essentially fight him to a draw, I guess you could say. Now, granted, it wasn't just a straight one versus one matchup. Superman was trying to protect, the city and other members of the Justice League, and all these things were happening at the same time while that was going on. So it was not just a straight up one-on-one. There was other things involved in that fight that caused Doomsday sort of to have a slight advantage in some ways. So that's something that needs to be taken into account as well. Now, in terms of doing sort of like your math of, okay, in my matchup for Superman versus the Hulk, I got to go with Superman. You guys can watch that versus matchup if you want to hear why. Go into lots of details in that one. So therefore, if Superman and Doomsday fight to a draw, and Superman beats the Hulk, then Doomsday should also beat the Hulk. Well, you can't always go just based on that, because styles do make fights. We see it all the time in mixed martial arts. And if we're going to be realistic about a comic book matchup like this, even as unrealistic as it could possibly be, but fun at the same time to do it, and that's why we are. But still, you have to kind of realize that that doesn't necessarily mean that these two would match up in the same way, and that just because it was a draw, that Doomsday, just based on that, would beat the Hulk, just simply based on that. Now, as I mentioned before, the Hulk's powers, we all know the Hulk's powers, essentially. This is a very well-known character. Doomsday is not so well-known to a lot of people, so we'll go over his powers very quickly. Basically, he was genetically engineered through cloning and on Krypton, and essentially gained his immortality, so to speak, from generations and generations of being created, cloned, engineered, and then having to fight for survival in a extreme environment. Was killed off, and then after would essentially evolve from that and become even more resistant to whatever killed him, to the point where Doomsday became essentially the best survivor in that environment, and then eventually turned on his creator and killed his creator. So he essentially has the ability to adapt extremely quickly to any kind of danger, any kind of anything that would threaten him. He obviously has super strength, insane durability. He's extremely fast for a bigger, monster, I guess you could call him, a creature. Probably faster than the Hulk. Yeah, I think you could say that, faster than the Hulk. And let's see. just insane invulnerability and ability to, even after taking a blow or whatever the case may be, or being seemingly killed, would come back even stronger afterwards due to his design and his ability to evolve and adapt. Now, that being said, we're not getting into that whole, okay, if the Hulk kills him, then he'll just come back over and over and over again. No, we're just talking about who would win, okay? Single life, if he dies, that's it. Even if he comes back later, the Hulk would still win if he is to kill him, okay? So we're not talking about, if he comes back afterwards, that type of thing, and it has evolved, and then the second time he would beat the Hulk. No, we're not getting into that. That's a little bit too far down. Just one life, let's say, even if he comes back a month later or something after he's killed or whatever the case may be, who would win between the two of them? Let's say no people involved, environment doesn't really matter, whatever the case may be. Who would win? Okay, well, the hardest thing with this one, I think, and this one is a tough one, because I could definitely see it go either way because it's very close, is that it's hard to gauge strength in terms of the two of these characters. Like, who is stronger? The Hulk, the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets, and there seems to be no upper limit to his strength. In certain comic books, you'll see references to just how strong he is, but that's kind of hearsay because it doesn't always apply, and then in other ones different things will happen. In Superman books, you'll have him do things such as move planets certain times, and all kinds of stuff like that. And of course, Doomsday was able to stand toe-to-toe with him in terms of strength and pretty much rival his strength. So in terms of strength, even though the Hulk has no upper limit, Doomsday's ability to adapt so quickly, I would think, in his ability to go with, one-on-one with Superman, you could give the Hulk, I guess, a slight advantage in terms of strength, a slight one, because as he would get angrier, he would get stronger, but then, of course, as that would happen, Doomsday could also evolve and adapt. Well, adapt, I shouldn't say evolve, because that doesn't really happen in one lifetime, but adapt to that strength and accommodate that throughout the battle, right? So in terms of strength, I would kind of put them at close to the same, maybe a slight edge to the Hulk. In terms of speed and fighting ability, I think you definitely have to give Doomsday the advantage because he's evolved over the different generations and cloning and engineering of himself. That he's fought creatures like the Hulk, before, alien monster type living beings that would be kind of similar, not exactly like the Hulk, but similar, and he would be obviously, I think, a much more skilled fighter just naturally than the Hulk would be, where the Hulk fights with emotion and is emotionally involved. The more emotional he gets, the more angry he gets, the more rage, he's going to become reckless, he's going to become not very technical, just go berserk basically. Whereas Doomsday, he's kind of, I guess you would get angry, at least his emotions seem to show that in the books. But he's supposed to kind of be almost robotic in the way that he doesn't get emotional like the Hulk to where he just rages out like that and goes crazy to the point where he doesn't use technique. So I would have to give Doomsday the advantage in technique and speed as well. In terms of durability or toughness and which character could take more, Doomsday fought Superman for an entire day to a standstill and took pretty much everything he had, plus due to the evolution and the density of his bones and everything like that. I tend to think that he might be more durable. But, the Hulk, on the other hand, too, he's got the healing factor, he's crazy durable as well, too. But Wolverine was able to dig into him when they did meet. He was able to stab into him and everything like that. So that being said, I think I'd have to give a slight advantage in durability to Doomsday. So really here, I think in almost every regard, you kind of have to go with Doomsday, except for strength, which you can give a slight edge to the Hulk. But the thing is, the Hulk does get tired. Doomsday doesn't really get tired, at least not very quickly. It takes a long time. So that being said, when you match up all the different categories, I think you start to see pretty quickly that Doomsday would take it. Strength is not absolutely everything. A all these other factors do come into play as well too. And I think also, keeping a level head like Doomsday would be able to, even though you would get angry, of course, as part of it and everything, get raged up and all that. The Hulk being essentially a creature purely made of rage is going to make him reckless. And I do feel like with the durability and everything, Doomsday could probably take what the Hulk has to dish out, but I don't think the Hulk would be able to, especially since, like I said, Wolverine was able to use adamantium to, dig into the Hulk and everything. I think Doomsday's bones would be able to also pierce the Hulk's skin, and I do think eventually Doomsday would probably take him down as he gets tired. So in this who would win matchup, I have to go with Doomsday, as much as I like to pick the Hulk, because I think the Hulk is a much cooler character. Well, yeah, he is. He's a hero too, and you like to go with your good guy characters versus your bad guy characters. But in this matchup, gamma radiation I don't think cuts it against Doomsday. I think Doomsday takes this one. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought about this matchup. Let me know if you disagree with me or if you agree. And if you have any other versus matchup ideas, please feel free to write them below. Somebody wrote in one of my videos the other day, Piccolo versus Martian Manhunter. I think that's a good one. I might do that one. So maybe next, look for that. Anyway, I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.